Namaste everyone. This video is all about my experience about COVID-19. Let me dedicate this video to all those people who might be suffering from COVID-19 infection, who might be in home quarantine, or maybe in institutional quarantine, or those people who have lost their dear ones to COVID, or those people who are in the hospital fighting against the COVID-19 virus on ventilators, some may be even on ICU, some may even have developed other illness because of lack of immunity, um, illness like pneumonia. And I mean, many people would be suffering. A lot of people would be fighting with this virus on every second in hospitals. Let me dedicate this video to all of them and all those people who are also not affected, who could probably catch this virus at any time. I never thought that I would be affected. That was a real fact. Because I'm a yoga practitioner. I do my meditations. I do have some discipline in my life, but still I got it. When I got it, COVID-19, from our office, we had around 10 people who got COVID-19 at the same time, perhaps through any infected person. As a carrier, it came and it affected all of us. I'm just about 4 days out of the 14 days quarantine now, and my life during the 14 days was a kind of a challenge and wasn't that easy at all. So I'm not a doctor, I'm not an expert in this, but I can only talk about my experience and how I battled with this COVID-19 coronavirus, and maybe my experience and what I went through during the COVID could probably help a lot of people. So hence this video is made. I actually decided to do this video while I was in quarantine, but then I wouldn't have been able to actually speak so well and with so much of positivity for the simple reason that I had breathing issue. Well, there are so many symptoms that can happen when you're affected. I guess, and what I knew about from all the fellow colleagues of mine, some had problems of not being able to have the sense of taste. They lose the sense of taste. There are some people who had severe fever, tiredness, body ache, body pain, backache, shoulder pain. So there are some like that. There's some people who had severe headache, unstoppable headache. Some people had vomiting. Some people had severe high temperature and fever. I had the symptoms that I had, and I kind of battled with that symptoms, is that I had breathlessness, found it difficult to breathe easy. I had problems of cough, a very intermittent bout of cough used to trouble me. Sleeping sometimes was disturbed. Very rarely I had fever, but then I had the symptoms of breathlessness, and that was sometimes I was absolutely normal. Sometimes suddenly you get the feeling that the breath is not going deep inside your lungs, and it's just not the flow is not very smooth, and you start feeling a lot of choking feeling that you feel here at the chest. So that's the kind of feeling that I had, and that's the kind of symptoms that I had during the COVID-19. How did I battle with this whole 14 days? In the 14 days of my quarantine, I was lucky enough to be home quarantined and not institutional quarantined, or I wasn't. There wasn't a need for me to go to the hospital, and I managed it by myself here. How did I do that? One, it happened to me at a time when I was actually doing a 42 days, a kind of a ritual sadhana. You call it a sadhana. And in this sadhana, I'm expected not to take any food until 12 in the afternoon. And believe me, you, in the 14 days of quarantine, I did not, I did not come out of that discipline. I kept that discipline as is. I did not have any food until 12 in the afternoon. I had my first meal only after 12 in the afternoon. Anyway, coming to that, before that, let me also tell you that since I explained to you about all the symptoms that are possible during COVID-19, is that not all symptoms are come to everyone, and not everyone have the same symptoms, and not all symptoms can come to everyone. So everyone will have different kind of symptoms depending upon their body type or body structure or their immunity or health. My advice to all the COVID-19 patients and those who are fighting the virus is that it's just that the first and foremost rule number one: do not take stress. Probably it is so easy for me to actually tell you that do not take stress, but it's not difficult. It's not. It may be difficult, but let me explain to you about it. That stress actually produces. I'm not a doctor again, but I'm just telling you about what I know about it. Stress actually produces a hormone called cortisol in your body. And what happens when cortisol is overly produced inside your body? When cortisol is produced inside the body, cortisol, the stress hormone, shuts down the immune system immediately. That's exactly what happens when, suppose you are chased by a saber-toothed tiger. What happens? You immediately run, isn't it? You have to run for your life because the fear of death is on you. The tiger is going to eat you. So if you stand still there, you're going to be eaten up and your life is gone. So what do? You immediately run. You immediately run away from that fear situation. So what happens is that stress hormones gets produced inside the body and it cuts off the immune system, which means the immune system does not get any smooth flow of blood or energy in the body. All the energy inside the body gets moved to your legs and your hands, because that's where you really need more energy for you to actually run away from the saber-toothed tiger. So when the immune system shuts down and the energy is more into your hands and legs for you to run away from the fear, immune system goes weak. And immune system does not fight with the virus. So this is exactly what happens. I mean, even when doctors actually need to plant and do an organ transplant, what do? They inject stress hormones into your body. You know why they inject stress hormones into your body? They inject so that the immune system cannot interfere into the transplant, the graft that you're putting inside your body. Otherwise, the immune system will not accept the transplant. So to shut down the immune system, they inject the cortisol into the body. So it's very important to understand that stress shuts down your immune system. So the first and foremost, that the fear of death that actually hangs in front of you, it need to go away. It need to completely go away. The only way that you can actually get that out of it is that understand that everyone will die. All of us will die one day. We were dead before we were born. We were not there in existence, and we will not be in existence after we die too. So it's just a temporary period. All of us one day have to go. But then don't let that happen now by yourself. Don't call that death to yourself by yourself. So the only way that you can actually do is that come out of the stress completely. Instead, tell yourself a few affirmative statements every day in your mind. Why? Because your body actually is actually a lot controlled by your subconscious mind. And your life is majority or major part of your life is controlled by 95 percentage 95% of your life is controlled by your subconscious mind. And subconscious mind learns only through hypnosis and program and practice, continuous practice. The first 7 years of your life you were in a hypnotic state, and that's how you start learning. You start your mind is open like this, and you were taking everything inside your mind during the first 7 years. After that, the subconscious mind learns through practice. So the only way that I can actually continuously program your subconscious mind is that by telling your mind that I am healthy, I am becoming healthier. Every day in the morning, when you get up, you say that I am better than yesterday. I'm becoming better. My body has the power to fight against the virus. I am improving my health on daily. Every day, I'm improving my health. Every day in every aspect of my life, I'm improving myself little by little every day. So there are few of these statements and affirmative statements that you can continuously repeat into yourself, and it goes deep inside your subconscious mind. It will act phenomenally well for you to fight against the stress. Do not listen to news. Don't switch on your news. Don't listen to your all that is happening around the world about coronavirus and the deaths and everything. Just cut that off completely. Instead, listen to some meditative music. Listen to some very enriching motivational talks. You can get that, a number of them you can get that in YouTube channels. So in focus on that. That's something which would help you a lot to come out of your stress and be more positive. What you feed your mind determines your health. So feed your mind with positive thoughts, feed your mind with affirmative statements, feed your mind um, with fun-filled moments. So if you want to actually watch a movie which is more of a laughter, which is more of a fun comedy, watch that and enjoy that completely. Be engrossed in it. You will start feeling much better because you will not have a moment to actually think and worry about it. Oh, what is going to happen to me? Am I going to die? Poor me. I've got COVID, and why me? That self pity, it it kills you. It kills you. It kills you. So do not feel that you have lost everything. Why is this happening only to you? Uh, all my colleagues have started feeling the same. I'm feeling really bad that everybody's sick. You know, listen, you shouldn't be taking your time out to keep on bringing all the negative energy into you. Bring your mind and your state of mind into a very positive energy. So kill the stress, get that stress out of you by using affirmative statements, by cutting off all the news that's going around you. Read Stop reading all the COVID related news and the kind of things which are happening around in the media. Cut that off completely. Be in your own world. Enjoy the moment of quarantine by listening to nice music, soothing meditative music, listening to divine spiritual stuff, whatever religion that you are from, and read some positive things, positive books, positive quotes. Interesting. Feed your mind with positivity. That helps you because your cells, every single cells in your body carries energy. Energy is everything, and you are energy. I am energy. Everything is energy. And how much of this energy is positive, it determines your health and your life. And I realized it during the COVID-19 14 days quarantine that I went through. The second most important thing is that yes, I had only 2 meals a day. Um, Even though everyone will tell you that uh, eat on time, it's quite natural that when you have COVID-19, you will definitely find many many doctors around you. Okay. And many doctors will tell you what to do and what not to do. Uh, but it's your life. You decide what you want to do. Don't get carried away by any of these self-made doctors. Um, I did not listen to any of them. I continued my discipline of sadhana, which I was doing. I did my meditation every single day. I did my yoga every single day. I did my sadhana every single day. I followed my diet every single day the way I really want to. The diet which I did, I'm a vegetarian. I'm a turned vegetarian. It helped me a lot. I had very light food, lunch and dinner. Breakfast I did not have because I wasn't supposed to be having it for 42 days as per my ritual. Um, the first thing that I had in the morning was a glass of water. And especially when I was having my water, I looked at the water and I prayed. And I kind of passed on some energy into this water. Because water has got the power to heal. Water has got emotions. And before I take that first sip and I kind of say good things to the water, that this water is carrying the divine healing energy and it's going to heal me. And then I take my first sip of water. And post that, the other thing, when I used to take a spoon of neem powder, you get this neem leaf. This leaves are very common everywhere, and you can get powders out of it. You can get paste. You can get fresh leaves. Fresh leaves is very good. I always used to take 1 spoon of this neem powder. Now this leaf has got very particular leaf. I mean, it's got serrated edges. If you notice this, that's because this leaf has got the power to absorb more sunlight, hence more chemicals in it. Hence more. It has got the properties that this leaf has got is humongous. It can heal you a lot. Of course, they say that the more you have it, I mean, it can even stop your sperm count, but so you don't need to have so much, but you can just have half a teaspoon of this one every morning. The other thing which I used to have was at a half a teaspoon of turmeric. So every morning with that glass of water, I take half a teaspoon of neem powder and half a teaspoon of turmeric. I guess it helped me. It doesn't give you a help immediately overnight, but it helps you over a period of time. It did help me. Another thing which I had was I used to soak peppercorns, crushed peppercorns on honey overnight, and early morning along with the glass of water, I take that spoon of peppercorn with honey and add a little lemon juice into it, and I used to have that one. That perhaps did help me. Another very important exercise that I did was breathing. When you feel choking on the chest, and when you feel that you can't take your breath deep inside and get stuck somewhere here, and then you start coughing because your breathing is not very normal and it's not very, very, very smooth, that's when you realize that the importance of breath. We all live our life every single day. How many of us really pay attention to the subtle energy of the breath or the air? You call it as prana in Sanskrit, going in and out, into your nose, into your lungs, and out of your lungs. Nobody notices this. We hardly pay attention to this aspect of life, and we know the importance of it only when we lack that. I always used to do breathing exercises, but this time during COVID, I realized that when you breathe, it's important to take the breath deep inside. And when you are breathing deep inside, you got to experience and you got to feel and you got to visualize the breath actually going deep inside your lungs. It's kind of merging and mixing with the blood. It's infusing that oxygen into the blood, and that oxygen filled blood is actually moving all over your body and healing your body. And then you exhale. So every breath you take, you start experiencing and visualizing this. It changes your the health system. It changes your way your body is, completely changes it. and I experienced it. The breathing that I used to do is that I used to do 1 to 4 breathing. That's called a water breathing, where you don't need to do anything. You just need to say you need to take your inhalation and you need to count 1 to 4, and then you hold your breath inside and you count 1 to 4, and you exhale on a count of 1 to 4. And I used to do this 5 times, and I used to count it like this. So my first finger, if I touch this, it's first cycle and second cycle, third cycle, fourth cycle, and fifth cycle. So I used to do this every single day morning. The second breathing exercise that I used to do is that I used to close this. There's a I think this bone is known as septile bone or septo bone. That's a cavity here that you see on both the side of the nose. I used to close this right nose and take my breath with a count of 1 to 4 from the left nose, and then I close both the septo bone, the cavity there, and I used to count 1 to 12 inside by holding the breath inside, and then I release my right nose and exhale it through the right nose at the count of 1 to 8. And then I take an inhalation of 4 to 1 from the right nose, and then again close both the nose and say 12 to 1, reverse. And then release the left nose and exhale through the left nose by counting 8 to 1. This is one cycle. I used to do this again 5 times, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's how I used to do this. So that's a second breathing exercise that I did. Another breathing exercise that I practiced was Wim Hof's breathing exercise. What I will do is I'll put a link below in this video. You can access that on YouTube. Wim Hof, the Iceman, he tells you about breathing. That's again a breathing and then holding the breath for some time and then releasing it. That also kind of, it's a great exercise for the lungs. This is another thing which I did. Every evening I used to do a kriya called Simha Kriya, which is again a breathing exercise which I learned from Isha and Sadhguru of Isha. I can put the link down here so you can actually look at that link as well. That's again a very difficult exercise, but then if you're able to do it on a consistent basis, even if you're not able to complete that exercise in the beginning, but with practices you'll be able to complete it. And that's where you have to sit on the floor and you have to press both your knees straight, and then take your tongue out, and you actually stretch your rib bones and take your tongue out like this and do this. This you do it 21 times. After this, without removing that stretch, fold your tongue like this, and then again do 21 times. After you finish this 21 times, then you take a deep breath inside, close your mouth and stay there for about a minute. Sometimes you will not be able to stay there for 1 minute. Even if you stay for about 30 seconds initially, that's fine, but you will reach that 1 minute. And then after that, after you finish your 1 minute, you release the air. This tells you that this increases the capacity of the lungs to take the oxygen. I think what COVID-19 does mostly to people is the breathing problem, and that's the reason why most of the people are on ventilators. Exercising your lungs, increasing the capacity of the lungs to actually take the oxygen is a thing to follow. Meditation helps a lot. So bring in your daily practice of meditation. There are so many meditations that are available on YouTube that you can check all that stuff. Every night when you go to sleep, try to think the thoughts which are very positive in your mind, that I am getting better. And as I get up in the morning tomorrow, I'm going to be much better. You know, this is law of attraction, because you are actually bringing in your thoughts or energy. You know, wherever you focus is, your energy flows. So bring in positivity, so your energy would be much more the energy inside the body will be much more positive. The last thing that I can talk about is that gratitude. Take moments every day to be grateful for everything that you have around, that you're so grateful that your eyes are functioning so beautifully well. You're so grateful that you're able to speak. I'm so grateful that you can actually say the sentence in such a manner that I'm so happy and grateful now that I'm able to speak properly. I'm so happy and grateful now that my breathing is normal. I'm so happy and grateful now that I've got my hands and legs working phenomenally well. Be grateful for every single thing. This is the moment, and the more you are grateful about everything that is around, it's just not only about you, I mean yourself. You can be grateful about the sun that is around, the water that is available, the air that is around, the trees that are around. You can be grateful for anything and everything. The more you actually express your gratitude on a daily basis, that changes your life. Gratitude can change your life. So friends, with this, I end my video on COVID-19. Um, you can do it. It's not something which is going to kill you. More than the virus, what kills you and what takes away your life is your fear, is your stress, is your mindset. It is the energies inside your body. I'm out of it. 14 days of quarantine at home. I got out of it. I had my difficulties, but I never gave up on positivity. I never gave up on meditation. I never gave up on my sadhanas. I never gave up on my breathing exercises. And I never gave up on my balanced diet, including hot water and honey water. And I used to use turmeric. I mean, this is the raw turmeric, it's not ginger. uh, I used to put this in the water, boil the water, and drink that water on a continuous basis. Again, I mean, there's no point in actually drinking too much of water. The water should be drank little by little, so that the body absorbs what it requires, and that's it. I hope this video is of use to some of you people. If yes, and if you like this video, please share it with your friends and relatives, and whoever needs it. Let many people see this, and I'm happy to help and assist and advise wherever required. You are most welcome to be in touch with me. I'll leave my contact details below in a link here. And this is the video that I always put on various things, and this is the video from InspireBee, my little organization which believes in inspiring people, helping people, and motivating people, making people realize the true potential that each and everyone has in them by the divine grace. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you.